Lance Leipold is set to be Kansas football's head coach for seasons to come. On Tuesday night, it was reported by Pete Thamel and subsequently confirmed by Fog.net that Leipold has agreed to a contract extension with Kansas through the 2029 season. The agreement ends any sort of speculation that the Kansas football head coach could go anywhere else this offseason after he led Kansas to its best season in well over a decade. And this news is massive for Kansas for a multitude of reasons. I think it goes back to one of the things that Leipold talked about when he first came to Kansas, and one of the things that he's talked about a ton over the last 18 months. It's building a consistent winner at Kansas, and consistency has not been something that can be associated with the Kansas program. KU's not had a head football coach stay with the program for 5 years or more since Mark Mangino. And with the early success of the program and the new contract extension, it appears Leipold will be the first coach since Mangino to do that. And it's interesting, too, that I think there's some similarities between the two programs and their trajectories under the two head coaches. Now, continuity has been a big thing under Leipold, and continuing to keep his staff in Lawrence will be a key as well. Obviously, he brought key members of his Buffalo staff, people like Andy Kotelnicki, Brian Borland, Jim Zabrowski, Scott Fuchs, Chris Simpson, people like that. And even if you want to go off the field, Rob Ianello as well. Keeping those people in Lawrence and continuing to build this continuity will be a huge key for Kansas in the long term, and securing the head man at the top to begin with is a huge start. So obviously this is huge for continuity. The players know who their head coach is going to be for their foreseeable future. They don't have to worry, is the coach going to go somewhere? There will not be any sort of worries about that, particularly heading into this weekend's Sunflower Showdown matchup with Kansas State, and obviously recruiting. That's the next step for, I think, this Lance Leipold staff. It's taking another step in the high school recruiting, and a contract extension like this is huge for that, showing the progress that you've already shown in the first 2 years under Leipold. And then now Kansas showing the support for the head coach and showing that, hey, he will be in Lawrence for years to come is going to be huge for high school recruits. I've already spoken to some of Kansas's 2023 commits. All of them are ecstatic about the news. Some saying that they knew it was going to come at some point, and that they're excited that Kansas has committed to this coach for the long term. Even someone like BJ Kennedy, the number one player in the state of Kansas in the class of 2024, expressed how excited he was. He grew up as a KU fan. He's seen the turnstile at the head coaching position for this program, and he knows how important it is that Kansas now has Leipold locked in. He said he was excited about it. So I think overall, you look at the ability to have players know who their head coach is going to be. The ability to maintain continuity year to year is huge. And then, of course, the recruiting part of it as well. Now, as for next steps, this is something that Leipold talked about during his weekly press conference this week. There are next steps for this, even with a contract agreed to. And to some degree, it starts with fan support, right? Continuing to buy season tickets and fill David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. That's something Leipold talked about at length during his weekly press conference on Monday. Supporting name, image, and likeness is really important to Leipold as well. He's talked about wanting the best for his players, and obviously having them be able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness will be important as well. And obviously in the long term as well, you think about things big picture. How do you build a consistent winner? You have to recruit, maintain, and develop all those players, and keeping Leipold at his current position, and while also supporting the program as a whole, from the athletic department, from the fans. Things can only continue to build from here, and building is not necessarily something that Kansas has done a lot of over the last 10 years. So we've got plenty of reaction up on fog.net right now. For VIP subscribers, you can see some of the recruits' thoughts on the contract extension. If you're not a VIP member, now's a great time to sign up. We've got a 75% off sale for $25. You get a full year's worth of VIP access to fog.net. It's less than $2.50 per month for recruiting, team updates, everything you could want in terms of behind the scenes content. You'll be able to get it there as well. So make sure you stay tuned to fog.net for all sorts of the latest KU football coverage.